you. And I met you by
Yeah, I like the vibe of the very good. Just like Minion when you are. When you get into the speech, you want to video with the rabbi, yeah?
Good evening. Erev Tov, Chodesh Tov, Chodesh, Mishnicht Nesoder, Marble de Simcha. Everybody is standing. Kindly have a seat. It's good you came on time because there's a limited amount of seats, as you can see. We welcome everybody to the סיום Rambam of the 44th cycle and the Haskolas HaMachzor of the 45th cycle. As mentioned many times, when the Rebbe was masakin the Takana to learn Rambam, at the same time, he was masakin not only to learn the Rambam and all the miles of it, that everybody is learning the same minyan, to be ma'achid Klal Yisrael through the Rambam, which is Koil Kol HaTorah Kula, but as well to make the סיום Rambam. And the סיום Rambam should be B'Reivam Hadras Melech. When we learn the Rambam, we're Mekayim the Hirov the Rebbe, and when we participate in the סיום Rambam, that's also we're fulfilling the Rebbe's Ratzon, which makes our discussions to the Rebbe even stronger, which makes us hakeli for all the brachas of Bona Chayim Zeine Kula Bervich. We will begin tonight with a video of the Rebbe. Everybody watch this screen, please.
Rogel in Zmanim Achrenim Isladis Achrenim, Sechet Mikashvet sein, mit den vielen Rambam, die man zueinander gezählt, die man leben mit sollen, mit seinem Mieti schon gestorben, wie es aber werden am Mina geforscht, wie der Rambam schreibt, wenn geht zu Teles Meshe den Namen, also da kann man hocken und Mina geforscht mit seinem sein. Midi Shono, Bechol Shono, al der Zeh, wie sagt, Dr. Moshe, wie Sikre Rambam. Aber ich darf mitkommen von Sefer Teres Meshe Benamro. Und mit Nehmen dem Sefer Hazeh, das ist im Rambam, hat mit dem Kol HaTorah Kula. Und mit das mit Ton kommen zu noch ein Sefer, die mir wohl dort in Baruch. Und der Vater sagte, der ähnlich und die Teile, was liegt da, mit sein Midi schon Beshono, und der und ist an der Chalukla, am Gimmelbrot in Bechol Jem. zusammen mit der Abdome und das Lieblingswerk, was auf der Verhältnis kommt zu der סיום, הרמב, in der Matze Rachel und nachher der Aschole von Matze Rachel, was mit Losse 7 Chazoko und die Jomim Akrevi mit סיום und Oder Rishon. Wo der Vater segnet kann als Mann war am Motten noch einmal auf Mizrahi sein. Man soll tun, jeder Kola Tole Bey, man geht zu sich allein und verhaft soll der Jakob Komecho, was ich soll zu jeder Rieden und alle Rieden. Und soll doch bestattet sein in dem Himmel, der Himmel Barabi, alle die Kammer bekam, mit Israel, was hat niemand der Tere bechlage durch Jedur der Malisch bedeutet. Wenn das die Tere an Jomedes Barabi, wie der alte Rebbe passt und auf in Hilfestal mit Tere, als sehr kann sein, Fall als nichts mehr Tere. Aber der Tere, was in Jomedes Barabi, und bei Freitag, wenn dann noch nicht kommt, normal sein, im Schiel, auf der Dämmert in der Tor, ist Tere Deka, in Kohl Herzog, oder Yishwabo, a viele Herzog schon mal, wenn das in der Mitte ist, weil wir bei Baruch und Juchis Talmetere schon werden. Wäre das Mann und Mott nach Lehre sein, wie bald hat das bis Mann Hakori, die Platte, das hat der Kirche, der Homo Lehi, und Fleisch in jedem Liebling Achar. Und mit dem Mischne sagt die Schkoli, hat das Labdabke, der Papa ist verbunden mit 3 Korbonis, nur viele, wenn das verbunden mit dem 80 Schreckung. Wenn die Welt ist als Gerät schrie, ich Fleisch in jedem Liebling, der nicht nur mit der Mord, nur besten Agonischen Jerusalem, bleibt Machna hat Rost, und dann noch werden das beieinander schicken und bekommen, ich wusste, es ist so, und werden das gemacht, der Tode gefallen, dass es schlecht in jedem. Noch da, die wieder mit Kim Chai, auf Kolponi, bei der Käse, am Ende Ruchnis, bis wann es alle Schienen der Gamlin sagt, als See des Segen, mit Batschen der Allah, als Oma, gerecht Hedis, und Masel Allah besser, und der Funde der Reihe, als der Abdome nicht schlechten geht, was sie da sagt, hat mich außer den Präsach hat. Wo das hat mich außer dem, und ich lese sie immer an, oder tot mehr, tot weniger, in Dubern Gehiva, Bechol, in Islamis Akevis, am Bechol, Mocken soll man machen, Bejachre hast sie, aber in Beruf Gufe, in mein Leben soll sein, Beleib an, Adres, Melch, gebracht noch an der Rambe, ist verbunden mit dem Teher Melch, hat gedekat, was kamen in die Forscher Rambe, und man reingestellt die Schem von Seele Pir, tegen den Wort Melch, die mit über Baruch, Lehir, in das Badische Liebnisse, lese Verpolisse von Malkirabons, ist das Bemjuchat verbunden mit der Selbe, was der Haboches ist, in was besteht die Linie von der Melech, nicht in der, was gibt, ein Tamlit wurde, der Punkt der Hälfte, die Katze gibt, ein Haboche Zucker. Haboches, und der muss setzen, dass nicht die Linie von Hochen, am Namiges, was weiß von, was zu finden mit ihnen, nur das in Jönische war Melech, und man maut gerottert durch andere Malcha Levi, bald hat das auch gemerkt. Und das ist eben verbunden kommen mit Pesach, wo damals der Nigla Levi. Ich sage mir nicht, stand Nigla Levi, Kodesh Baruch mit Frieden Basmi. Nur mit Verbindung, Nigla Levi, Melech, Malcha, Lotham, Kodesh Baruch mit Frieden Basmi, Region. Und der Vater sich redet in Shida Sayami, der Chesem Maschine liegt an der Linie von seit Hebel an Welle, oder Hawaii ist nur Chol Rekayetze Bose, nur der Linie von Hawaii ist Imrech Leelom Wort, der Linie Mluchas Hawaii. Und der Paar sehr gelegt von der Tieres, dass man auch von der einzigen Verbringe, dass es noch mehr Meide sein und es Sage sein. Wenn wir sagen, Errol im Sorosi, in der Aula Achonis, an der Sim, an dem Rambam soll sein in der Leben, und bei dem Rambam hat es Melle, was in Ruhe, in Allah, gefragt noch in Juchis Puri, bei der Gehe zur Krisa mit Gibel, ob ich Summe Nisse, als und einzige Ried, und kon mit der Herren Gibel mit Arminie, is a pen dort der Chiv, der soll kommen zu gehen in Allah, was in sein Beleid Apol Pivos durch sein Kommen, ist mäßig mehr nicht wie und Menschlichen zu Kammer Assyris oder Meis oder Ativa Lof, wie der Ding nicht in Hilches Megillah. In Hilches Puri. Wo der Funde sehr verstandig, wie bald das und Druck hängt dort, hat es mehr. Wo da meint man sich, wenn der Geher besorgt, dass er Parinik und Mitzwe, wie Christa mit Gile der Kajese besetzt, meint man das maltische Leben, geatmet der Reifisch der Leben, wie gebracht in der Eile, diese bemerkt, als er schwierig. Es sagt, dass ich wollte, atmet der Reifisch der Leben, und der Lied hebt sich auch die ganze Megille, weil hier die Meere quält. Endet sich das mit Tiden, aber mit dem Mordche, weil das ist gewähnt, Mordchai Halihudi, und das ist am Mordchai, hängt nicht doch so, nach der Ewigkeit kommt er auf in das Mann, und in Mokim, und in Mokim Rabbi, und das hat damals wird, weil hier die Meere quält, bis das kommt Aro in der Linie von Mordchai Halihudi, und der Jichler, und der Stachel, und der Teil tuf auf mein Hund im Häuser Ehre Besimcha. Besossen wie Korn, das wird da sehr Aginja Nitzki, wer passt in Kopenrambam, als je mehr Apulin ist das Aginja Nitzki. Marchen kennt die Schaljoninte. Genura mit der Pil, was die Chakraftale Bachil, Bucholeten, und das ist der Lort und Zach und Wolle, und der Rambam bringt es herauf. Danke von Medisch, aber ein Logiblatt in der Logik ist am Ort.
We just heard the importance of it should be that the Sim should be Berevam Hadras Melech. On another occasion, the Rebbe mentioned that one shouldn't say, you know, there will be a big oilam even if I don't come. So it will be Berevam and Hadras Melech even if I don't show up. And so the Rebbe said one should not say that, but every person adds to the Revam and as well to the Hadras Melech. In light of the massive in Eretz HaKodesh, and by extension in the entire world, that Yidden everywhere need a Yeshua and a Geula, and a Geula Shleima, in Heiro. We're going to say a few kapitel of Tillim, and we'll ask Rav Shmuel Zalmanov to lead the Tillim we'll begin with kapitel Chof.
And this one will be enough. Say, Mizmo Ledovi, ja, fahren die Leute, die so, was ist das schon mal, ja, ich kann mich auch mit Friedisch, Missing ist der, es gibt noch was für das, Sello, immer von dem Wort, mal und dann, und ich muss sehr von Schimmer, der ist die Mal, aber ich kann mich auch sehr von, da ich, ja, da ich, von Schimmer, was ist, was ist, was ist, was ist, אנחנו בשם אבינו אלוהינו נזכיר הימנו ונקולו, אנחנו קמנו במסעדו, אבינו ישוע, וכהננו ליין דורנו. שיר המיילי, סלך ונוסוס, יסעיני, היש ורשומות, והנה כאיני עבודים על יד אבנים, כאיני שיפו על יד פריטו, כאיני נמליה ולדינוי אליהינו עד שכוננו, חוננו אדינוי, חוננו כנב סובנו הוז, רבסו ונושנו עלה כשננו רבוז וגאי ימין.
Shkoyach Rav Shmulik for the children and as well for all the work that you put in to be married in the Sion. The last few weeks we're reading in the Torah. Now we're reading about the building of the Mishkan. Prior to that, in the Parshas Yisrael, Mishpatim, we read about the union of Matan Torah. It's very interesting. The Yidden, it says in the Apostle, B'chodesh HaShlishi, it says B'nai Yisrael me'eretz Mitzrayim, that Vayom Hazeh bo midbar Sinai, that Rosh Chodesh Sivan, the Yidden came to Har Sinai. Vayom Hazeh, they learned Vayom Hazeh is Rosh Chodesh, at Rosh Chodesh Sivan, they came to Yachad, V'levachot, V'yichan Shem Yisrael Neged Ahor, they came to Har Sinai. When did they leave? So it says in Parshat Ba'aloisco, it says, V'hi B'shona HaShenis, V'chodesh HaSheni B'esrim HaChodesh, and then V'yisu B'nai Yisrael L'Maseyim, they till Chof Iyar, they stayed by Har Sinai, and then they left. So if you make a cheshbon and you look, you'll see that the amount of time that they were by Har Sinai was exactly on Mavzor of the Rambam. That's how many days they were there. If you do the math, you'll see. A Mavzor of the Rambam is 344 days, and that's how many days they were by Har Sinai. So by days they stayed there by Har Sinai, they learned the whole Rambam, Kol HaTorah Kulo, then they were ready to move on. Hashgacha Prat is this year's Sim Rambam, not always is a Talmud that you make it boy by Yoim, but tonight, it means tomorrow, is the last day of this year of this Mavzor, of the 44th Mavzor. So we're very honored to have the Rav of Beis Medrash Lubavitch and our Chaver, Beis Tzedek in Montreal, and our Beryl Bell, who will honor us with the Sim. Rav Bell.
I had to learn the Parakim beforehand, so I should be able to make a סיום. So left over one halacha over here for the end, just to say a few words before the סיום. I remember the Fabrein when the Rebbe mentioned the Indian of learning a Rambam. The Rebbe didn't use the word then takana. In fact, by the Fabrein earlier, it was already a very dramatic statement. The Rebbe said that everybody should take time to isolate themselves and think over an Indian of Chassidus for the sake of thinking Chassidus. Just for that, just to do it lishmo. So this was already a big nice, a big chiddush. It was later on the Fabrein, and the Rebbe gave a little smile, I remember. And the Rebbe said he has a hatzah, a suggestion. So when the Rebbe said, oh, okay, let's see if the Rebbe has a hatzah, a suggestion. That's when it came out Indian Olim and the Rambam. And I remember when after the Rebbe said it, people around, at least the people I knew, nobody had a clue what that meant to finish the Rambam in a year. Because the whole idea of 3 parakim, later on they made a cheshbon and they worked out with the Marashir and everything. People thought, it's going to be 6 hours a day, you have to learn 20 parakim, who knows how much it would be. Nobody counted. And people had, but most people hadn't made that cheshbon. The Rebbe obviously had, but the Marashir came out a bit later. And there's Magia, very interesting things over there by the Haggadah. Among the Morashir that they gave out some amazing things about the Rambam, but remember the Rebbe said through the years said amazing things about Limud the Rambam. The Rebbe once said that this was his cholam, his dream, to unite Klal Yisrael through the inyan of Limud the Rambam. The Rebbe said many times that the Matorah is to make Achdus Yisrael, to unite Yidden, and the strongest unity is when people are is through learning Torah, and then when everybody is learning the same thing in Torah, it makes even a greater unity, and then when everybody's learning an inyan in Torah, which is Kol Torah Kula, is the highest form of unity that could be. And he said, through this will come the kiyum of the Cholam HaIkris, that was the main Cholam, which is the inyan from Gila Mashiach, as the Rambam says over here in the סיום. So at the end, first read the last halacha in Perek Yud Beis. So the Rambam mentions earlier in the Perek, in Perek Yud Aleph, he speaks about Melech HaMashiach, the person, and in Perek Yud Beis, the last Perek, he speaks about Yemes HaMashiach, and the Rambam says in halacha Dalit that the whole desire of all the Chacham and the Nevi'im for Yemes HaMashiach was in order to be free from disturbance, we should be able to learn Torah. And in order to be Zeichel Chayei Olam Haba, like he said in Hilchos Tshuva. So the Rambam says over here in Halacha Daled. Then in Halacha Hey, the Rambam says, Ubeis HaZman, that at that time, Lei Yasham, Lei Rav, Lei Milchama, Lei Kinu V'Tachlis. There will be no hunger, there will be no war, there will be no jealousy or competition. Because good things will be in great abundance. And all sweet things will be as common as the dirt. And the only occupation of the entire world, the Rebbe once explained, that Kol Ha'elam means even Umas Ha'elam, even B'nai Neach. The only occupation will be knowledge of Hashem, solely knowledge of Hashem. That will be our only occupation. L'pichach, Yiu Chachamim Gedalim, and therefore there will be big sages, V'yedim Dvarim Hastumim, some Girsos Amukim, and will know all the deepest hidden things. The Asigu Das Beiram K'pikeach Ha'adam, and we will achieve knowledge of our Creator according to human capability. Shenemar, as it says in Pasuk, that the world will be full of knowledge of Hashem as water covers the sea. This last inyan, it says over here that Rebbe spoke about this pasuk because it brings this inyan of Ladasas Hashem in Hilchos Seder Torah, brings again Hilchos Tshuva, like the Rambam just mentioned, and even more so, the Rambam brings that same pasuk in Hilchos Tshuva, Umola Aradeus Hashem, and he leaves out the last three words, Kamayim Layom Machasim. So in the Sefer Dvar Malchus, I'm sure you've seen it, it's an amazing, amazing Sefer. He put together all the times the Rebbe discussed this pasuk over 30 times. Different biyurim. When you count the סיום Rambam, you had starting in Memhei, so you had until Nun Beis, you had 8 Siyumim. So the Rebbe certainly spoke about it then, even the Rebbe made a Siyum. But in addition, the Rebbe spoke about it many times. So I'm just going to bring one Nakuda, which I think is essential Nakuda. But the Rebbe explained why is it that in Hilchos Tshuva, the Rambam did not bring these last three words, and in Hilchos Melachim, at the end, he does bring these last 3 words. And the Rebbe, more in the later years, the Rebbe illuminated the whole Hilchos Melachim with this. And even the Rebbe Shita, after you learn the Rebbe Shita, the Rebbe, everybody knows, the Rebbe gave out at Dvar Malchus when he spoke about the Derech HaYeshorah, to bring Mashiach quicker is through learning Yonah Mashiach Kabul, as it says in Teda. The Rebbe gave everybody to Bar Malchus. Do you say this to Kasichas over there? That the Rebbe gave everybody to learn. But building on that, the Rebbe kept building and building and going deeper and deeper into it. So over there, the essential Nakuda, as the Rambam said in Halacha, in Perek Yud Aleph and Perek Yud Beis, that the Inyan of Mashiach is to make the world into holy places. It's Shleimus Torah mitzvahs in the world the way it is. And therefore, Mashiach does not have to do miracles in order to prove he's Mashiach. He can make miracles too. But he doesn't have to show Eisus Umeisim. Why? Because the whole Inyan of Mashiach is to bring Shleimus Torah mitzvahs in the world the way it is now. And therefore, Yala, Yala Das, Yala Daito, Yala Alalev, so Yala Daito, that anything has to change in nature of Yemesa Mashiach. Or there has to be a change in Maisa Bereshis. So this is the whole Yisod, the Perek Yud Aleph about Mashiach himself, and Perek Yud Beis about the Yemesa Mashiach. And the Rebbe explains over there, how does it fit with Tchias HaMesim? There's going to be miracles and a change in Maisa Bereshis. So the Rebbe says there's two stages in Yemesa Mashiach. There's a stage that the Rambam talks about that it's connected with the world, and then there's another stage which is all completely higher than that. And the Rambam does not discuss that in Hilchos Malachim. He's not talking about the second stage, because this has nothing to do with Shleimus Torah mitzvahs. The Rambam's a Sefer Halacha. He's talking about Torah mitzvahs, being Makayim the mitzvahs in this world. So the second stage, where there's miracles, not negayah, Tchias HaMesim, is not shaykh to the Shleimus Torah mitzvahs. That's what comes out from the Dvar Malchus. The Rebbe said in later years that this last halacha that we just read is like a remez to that second stage. And that's why he adds, this is one of the 30 biyurim, why he adds, but it's in your clothing. Kamayim layom machasim, what's the difference? Kimola aretz deis Hashem, that there's a world, and the world, the way it is, will be filled with knowledge of Hashem. It's like you have a keli, and you fill it up with water. Me'adas. So you fill up the keli with water. So Molar, if you have a world, and you fill it up with Molar Deis Hashem. It'll be full of Das Hashem. What's in Kamayim Leo Machasim? You don't see the keli anymore. It's like the keli is titled in a mikveh. The keli becomes bottled. Molar Deis Hashem is the world the way it is, and it's Kedorim, so it becomes a keli to be for knowledge of Hashem. Kamayim Leo Machasim is much, much higher than that. It's not just the world the way it is. It's totally bottled, totally covered over. It becomes Eis Metzias. And the Rebbe said that that's Haremez over here in the very last halacha. So the whole 13 books of Rambam, and the whole 14th book, including Hilchos Malachim, including Perek Yud Beis, up to the last halacha, is talking about the world the way it is in its Gedorim. It becomes the last halacha, the Eis HaZman, that he brings a remez to the second Inyan the way it is, higher than the world, that the world is bottled in Metzias. So that's in Kamayim Layom Machasim. Anyway, that's one of the 30 biyurim to these three words, Kamayim Layom Machasim. That the Mefarsha Tanakh. So they say, what's the yam that's being covered over is the floor of the sea. So you don't see the bottom of the ocean. You don't see the ocean bed on the bottom because it's covered over with water. So too, that here we see a world, and comes Torah mitzvahs, as the Rambam gives us all of the halachas of Torah Shabbat Peh, that this is the way to make the world into a place of Dir LaKadosh Baruch Hu. Okay? But when it comes to Eis HaZman, so it's going to be more than that. It's not that there's a world and we're walking around the world and we're going to be busy like and we'll be in our world, we'll be thinking the whole time about Hashem. Like you go to work, see what's going to be your work is Ladasas Hashem Bilvad. Kamayim Machasim is more than that, that what's felt then will be the Metzias of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the world is a secondary thing. And it occurred to me, this is already Ad Kan Divrei Harav. This is maybe a Hergersh, maybe a Zirus, the whole Inyan, one of the Inyanim of making a Sim Rambam, that the Rebbe put in so much effort and so much keches into the idea of Limud Rambam to be machazik the limud. that more and more people should be mitzdaref to the limud, and the people that are already mitzdaref to the limud should be machazik in the limud to learn it. You know, sometimes there's these parakim, everybody's been through it. You know, there's 40 halachas in the parak, and that's only one of 3 parakim. And you know, sometimes it's very long, and sometimes it's a job to get through, and it's something which it needs the zeros. One of the eights is pusha eights a teva. To break it up during the day. Some people, I can take 1 parak a day Rambam. I can learn 1 parak. Learn the 3 parakim is too much for me. So you have an eitzah, push the eitzah. Only learn 1 parak. Just do it 3 times during the day. So you only learn 1 parak. So I only have to learn 1 parak now. I learn 1 parak. I'm learning parak echad. It comes later in the day, so I have to learn another parak. I'm also learning parak echad. I also saw there was once somebody that did it and got a positive answer. He says he can't, in the course of the day, do it. So he starts the night before. So in Chitas, the Rebbe answered clearly not to do this, but a person got a positive answer to continue his anhaga like that. Says Zusha Partizan used to learn the Rambam before davening. The Rambam before davening, he said, "Chavos v'Rav Zamaisek, learn the Nigla before davening." He says,